Second stage of the voyage in the macrodimensions of the Labyrinth. First Apparitions. Introduction. This is the stage in which labyrinth visions begin, during the first phases of dissolution of primate consciousness. As my voyager's attention becomes free of occlusion and identification with the human biological machine, I will see the clear light of the void manifesting as the face of the beloved, the unveiled vision of reality. This is what is meant by the expression, "Death comes as a lover." Even though I must have missed the primary and secondary clear lights, or I wouldn't be hearing further instructions, spontaneous liberation is still possible, although as I down spiral, it becomes progressively less probable in this, the second stage of my labyrinth voyage. My portion of food is given away. The body is stripped of its clothes and prepared for the shroud. The bed is cleaned, the bedroom swept. My idiot nephew has taken over the business. My favorite Iguanacon t-shirt and coffee cup are given to the Salvation Army thrift shop, and my friends and relations are nearby watching all this and doing nothing. Well, not exactly nothing. They're cleaning us out of canapes and potato salad. Strange, awesome, and frightening sounds, lights, and radiation assail me. Fatigue, terror, and exhaustion are some reactions that I might feel. But if I relax, these reactions will pass. There are 6 states that a voyager will experience in the labyrinth in all. 1. The state of uncertainty at the moment of transition. 2. The state of uncertainty during ecstatic equilibrium, as everything blends into unity. 3. The state of uncertainty during the experience of stark, raw reality. 4. The state of uncertainty while in the deep dreaming state during or following the clear light. 5. The state of uncertainty during the visionary stages, as the primate consciousness breaks apart and rebirth approaches more and more rapidly. 6. The state of uncertainty during the womb dreams, deep visionary slumbers influenced by sounds and imagination while awaiting rebirth. There are 3 main stages of the labyrinth voyage: the moment of first transition and first confrontation with the clear light, the unfolding of the human primate consciousness into its 5 primal components, followed by the reformation of these 5 primal components of consciousness, culminating in the process of rebirth. Of these 3, I have so far experienced only the first stage, the moment of first transition, deep, sleeping blackout, and the confrontation with the pure, clear light of the void. Although confronted with the clear light, which is a static field of intense, almost invisible radiation in what looks like infinite extension, I was evidently unable to remain stable within it and was ejected downward. It now becomes inevitable that I can expect to pass through the second and third stages of this present labyrinth voyage. Death has now come to the biological machine, the human primate within which I voyaged through the organic world. Death comes to all forms. Everything eventually is broken up by dissolution, so there's no point clinging to yet another biological form out of desire, longing for stability, or from fear and weakness. I'll give that to you again. Death comes to all forms. Everything eventually is broken up by dissolution, so there's no point clinging to yet another biological form out of desire, longing for stability, or from fear and weakness. There's no safety in the biological forms, or in anything else for that matter. Even if I cling to the life of the primate, I won't gain anything in the long run, and eventually I'll be forced to release my grip. It's okay to be afraid, to feel fear, but it's not okay to panic, to react to the fear. I will never struggle against fear. Just let the fear remain, and keep the panic from forcing me into action I might regret. When fear, terror, or confusion overwhelm me, here is the vital secret of recognition. Every thought of fear, terror, or awe aroused by the visions in the labyrinth is caused within myself, because I have become identified with my own visions, lost in the swirling patterns of my own thought forms. At this all-important moment of liberation, I do not become caught up in the power of my own hallucinations. When I clear my vision, the forms will vanish back into the smooth, undifferentiated, jelly-like electrical field from which they came. I bring up my attention. I stop drifting into the vision state, and all hallucination will cease. I open my vision. I allow myself to see the truth absolute, a subtle, brilliant, ungraspable mirage moving across a dazzling landscape, a never-ending swirl of electrical vibration, expanding and contracting all at once. And yet this infinite landscape is only the reflection of the face of the beloved in my awakened consciousness. From within the midst of this endless landscape, the natural sound of unsheathed reality comes rumbling and reverberating like the sound of thunder, both distant and close. This is the sound of my deepest self, my own sound. The body which I seem to have at present is called the body of habits, a form defined by customary morphological identity, taking the shape most comforting to me, and if I do nothing to escape automatic rebirth, surely also the shape of things to come. But this body is not of flesh and blood, and so, whatever happens to me during this labyrinth voyage, whether in the form of sound, light, or radiation, I mustn't resist. Resistance to my own thought forms can cause spontaneous rebirth, since I'm resisting myself. At this point, I don't worry about surviving. I can't die any more than I already have. The visions which are beginning now are the thought forms caused by the breaking apart of my previous human primate consciousness, and they're only affecting me because I am still under the influence of the organic world through long and repeated exposure to the lower material dimensions.